Here I am. Hi. So I have my Coca-Cola shirt today. Let me show you my shirt. Isn't it cool, right? It's like, right? Okay. Almost fell. Didn't see that. So yeah, so we're waiting for Rhonda. Hi, I'm Sharon. We're waiting for Rhonda to join us. Trying to figure that out for her. And then we are going to begin this dialogue and talk about Rhonda and her brand. Um, what is it? House of Sky. Yeah, House of Sky, SKYE. She's on, if you're here through YouTube, you'll see in the description where we have a link for her line, and you can check out her clothes on Etsy. So she's on Etsy, and we're going to talk about that too. If there are any challenges with Etsy and all that kind of stuff. So let's find out. Let's text Rhonda. Hey, Kenya, let's text Rhonda and find out where she is, because y'all know I can do this by myself, right? But it's not about me. It's about Rhonda. So let's find out where she is. She says she was having issues logging on. Um, Here we go. Hey, Rhonda. Just making sure she's not here before I hit send. Um, are you almost close to connecting? It's always something, right? So we'll just talk about me. Hey! So we won't talk about me. We won't. But I just got some really good news today, right? So I want to steal Rhonda's shine and stuff, but I just got some really good news, and it is so awesome. Let me take this up. It is so awesome, and I'm so excited. It's just like, oh, so that's I wanted to scream. I'm trying to do this natural thing with my hair. So I was going to get a girl and put her on, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to be me. Hey, Linder, I'm just going to be me because you all love me that way. And if Rhonda doesn't come on here quick, if Rhonda doesn't come on quick, we're just going to talk about whatever. We'll call it a Q&A with you. How about that? Um, she's trying to connect, and little does she know that this is live. So yes, but I got some really awesome, like awesome sauce news today, and I'm like, really, me, us? This is so cool. So I don't know how many people know. I think, really, quite honestly, well, I told some people, but I think it's only like two people that really get it. Um, and it's so cool. It's so cool. I'm so excited. Y'all want to see my cat? I have a cat. Isn't this cool? This is my cat. Because I can't have live cats, so I have this, and he sits right here. He sits right here on my bed by my monitor. I don't know where Rhonda is. Um, don't know. It's not looking good, people. I don't know where she is. So Kenya Linger, hi. So on the feed, we have Kenya Baker, who is chiming in or joining us from, oh my God, hold on, y'all. Just let me mute myself so y'all won't hear me say words that I should not say on YouTube. Okay, I'll be right back. I don't even have a video play. You know what? I'm gonna show y'all something. This is how people tease me, and they say I type like this. Oh, hold on. Did I add it? Is it added? Hold on. I think I got to remove my Oh my God. I'm not going to say what I want to say because I'm not going to say that. Yeah. This is definitely a mojito moment, and I should have fixed one before I went live. And now you have Baltimore's finest right here on the street. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you were here to speak with Rhonda Dyson, she is not here. You have my fabulous self, and we're going to talk for a little bit. Because, first of all, I want to thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here on this platform for our little interview session. And we're going to reschedule Rhonda. No, I'm not going to say. Kenya wants me to say it. I'm not going to say it. I just like the way my earrings move. I'm not going to say it. Oh, wait a minute. She's here. Oh, my God. There is a God. And she just arrived.
I don't know what happened.
How did you get it to work?
I have no idea. Don't
Yes,
even ask.
you know what? I had just X'd you out like Malcolm X.
Did you?
But
Did everybody leave?
Say that again.
Did everybody leave?
No, they're still here.
Hi, everybody. Okay, that was like some kind of miracle. I don't know what was going on.
The devil was trying to make me curse, and Kenya was like, "Say it," and I'm like, "I'm not going to curse. I'm not going to do it."
No, yeah, you know these different platforms. When I try different platforms, it's always some big abyss of what's supposed to happen and what button you're supposed to click, and it's just a mess. I hate it.
It's okay. But
yeah.
It's technology, so it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, this is Rhonda Dyson. She is an awesome creative, and now correct me if I'm wrong. You knit or crochet?
I knit.
Okay, so Rhonda, Kenya says hi. She says hi,
Kenya.
So Rhonda is a knitwear designer. So she's the second designer that we had this year. And Denise Robinette, not to steal from Rhonda's shine, is another designer that knits as well. So Rhonda is, when I interviewed, so let me tell you how the process works with designers. All designers register. And if they can pass that process, then they schedule an appointment, and then we schedule a Zoom meeting. And during the Zoom meeting, it was really interesting because Rhonda had a laptop and she was walking it around the house. It was so cute. And she was showing me her sketches, and they were really beautiful. But to see some of the garments that were in the book come to life was amazing. And so I'm not going to steal your shine, and we have as much time as you need. So I want you, Rhonda, to introduce yourself and just talk a little bit, to the audience about who you are, and tell them just a smidgen of House of Sky Design.
Okay. I'm Rhonda Dyson. I am a transplant. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois, south side of Chicago, just like Michelle Obama. She made it famous. So anyway, I've been in Maryland for probably about maybe going on 12 years now. And so this is all new to me. I am a brand new designer. I'm finding myself through design, or it has found me, whichever way you want to look at it. So I decided on House of Sky as my label, and somebody's going to ask me, why did I decide on that name? Okay, so I can just go over that now if you'd like. Okay. So I knew that, so House of Sky, basically, House of, as we all know as designers, it's from fashion designers where they actually did work out of houses, whether it's a townhouse and they've got all these levels and it's all design. Each floor, someone's doing something different on each floor, that kind of thing. So it's House of, Maison Day. And Sky is basically sort of my way of saying house of everything. house of, you name it, house of limitlessness and infinity. And sky just seemed to be the appropriate name. I mean, I could say house of universe, but that sounds kind of corny. So I am a spiritual person. I do believe in the spirituality and the universe, power of the universe. People have gods. I thank the universe for my success. So house of sky is just another way of saying house of universe. Where's the universe? It's all around us. Where's the sky? It's all around us. And it's ever changing and it's everlasting. So that was the whole idea behind that.
So when you start, thank you. I didn't know. Like, really, I'm not to throw sprinkle shade on. And you know what? I'm not even going to say that because it'll be like me sprinkling shade. So I'm not going to say it. But what I am going to say is that what I've noticed through the interviews and through the one-on-one conversations I've had with, each one of the designers, you all have your own special space in knowledge. Like LaVincent has his, and then I just learned a little bit more about you. And I think that's so awesome. Your capacity and your knowledge base. It's just
okay.
And to hear the story behind, how your name came about, your label label came about is pretty awesome as well. I could tell when I first met you that you were very spiritually and universally inclined. So one thing that did for me was that I had to.
Is there a look I had?
No, it was just the way.
I'm joking.
No, she's not joking. Rhonda is not joking because she'll call me up and be like, no. You said that one thing, and I wish you wouldn't say it again. See, that's Rhonda she got sneaky shade with her, but it's all good. So when I talked with Rhonda, I knew like each designer this year has their own special place.
Yes.
And they all have to be not handled, but they all, when I speak with them and talk to them about things, I have to do it in a special kind of way. Like I just can't be Sharon Nixon all the time. So when Rhonda showed me her garments after she constructed them, I was blown away. Do you have one? I know you do.
Actually,
you do. You don't? Are you upstairs or downstairs?
I'm actually upstairs in my sewing room right now. Okay. But I have a blanket right here that I actually took a nap in. That I took a nap in this afternoon.
It's nothing like taking a nap and being all rolled up in your.
Oh, I know. These things are wonderful. So I've been knitting blankets. You see this? This is actually, I think, is on your picture.
Oh, okay.
It's like a blueberry blanket, and it's got a lot of nice fringe on it. Oops, hang on. A lot of nice fringe hanging. I like. So when I make something, especially when I'm in full control of it, which is the only way I want to make something, I have to be in full control of it or feel that I am. I like to give everything ampleness, so you're not going to ever find me having short fringe. You know what I'm saying? So I like long fringe. Yes, I like big. I like hoodies. I like all that cozy stuff that comes with the fall and the winter. I'm a seasonal person. Coming from Chicago, and of course, even now we have seasons here in Maryland, which are very, very mild in Chicago's terms, especially the winters. But anyway, so I'm one of those people that I like to cuddle up, I like to curl up, I like to put on socks, and I love outerwear. So I try to make something that the stores don't have. You could see something in the store and it's like, yeah, kind of what you wanted, but it isn't the everything you wanted. Mm-hmm. And so I like to give it all of that extra because I can. So I will lay on the fringe. I will lay on the bountiness of it. Everything's like super big and oversized. I don't know if you can see this thing, but it's huge. So I've made like blankets for like a king size bed, for a queen size bed. Um, and they wound up like doing nothing. They were just sitting. Because see, here's my thing. I make stuff, but I never think about what I'm going to do with it after I make it. I have not thought that through. So anyway, I had all these blankets. And I finally just said, I should probably give these away as gifts to my family, make it like heirlooms. And so that's what I started doing. So every Christmas until the supply runs out, I'll be giving someone a blanket. One person gets one blanket every year.
Oh, nice.
And so I got people like waiting now going, oh, my blanket.
So you'll become everybody's favorite person now that you give away a blanket. They're like, oh, can I get one? Can I get one?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I think that, it should follow in the family, especially since it's something that I actually made by hand. And it's something that I could see being passed down generation after generation. And it's just, it's kind of like on the same level of quilts, where you pass down quilts. So that's the whole idea with blanket, and that's actually the only knit thing that I have. But so I'll just start talking. You don't have to feed me a question. I'll just start talking a little bit. Okay. Is that all right? I mean, I'm just saying. So I'll help you. So I started knitting when I was, I don't know.
You need help, Rhonda, but thank you.
You were gonna ask me that? Were you gonna ask me that? Were you really? Okay. I mean, how do you want to do it? Because you got me going now. I'm talking now.
Wait a minute. Rhonda's like, you don't need to ask me questions.
You can. I want you to.
You know what?
But I know that's a basic question.
Rhonda likes to talk when I talk, y'all.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So we had some comments. Linger Magazine said the blanket is beautiful. Kenya said it looks comfortable. That's nice.
Thank you, guys.
And then Reginald Levinson said he loves fringe. He loves the winter. You're right. More is better because he loves drama too.
Oh,
drama
lay it on. Lay it on. There's no such thing as too much.
Oh, he said he's on a waiting list for you, Rhonda.
Okay. For a blanket. Okay.
So where do you get your inspiration from? I know you mentioned earlier that you get your pull from the universe, but where do you, other than, and I don't know if there's anything other than the universe, so please forgive me if I say this incorrectly, but what else do you use other than the universe and your surrounding energy? What else do you use to create your garments? Because I wish you could like run downstairs real quick and get one of those garments and show it, because they're absolutely beautiful, especially the one that you felt. And then we're going to get into your felt.
But that's in the show. That's going to be in the show. I don't want to give it away. I don't want to give it away. I tell you what, your folks will go on. Actually, I can get something. I don't know. Can I get out of this?
Yeah, I can talk.
Oh, wait a minute. I do have some felting. I have some right here.
Okay.
I'm crazy. these are just small sample pieces of some felting. So we jump from knitting to felting. Is that, you cool with that? Because we're all over the place. All right.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. You never seen my labs before. I'm all A through J, and B, and then Z, and then I'm in a numerical listing. So, girl, let's do this.
Okay. So here's just some sample felting that I've made, and this is really elementary. What I wanted to do with this is cut it up. I don't even know how to put this where my camera.
I can see
it. It's to cut it up and make appliques with it and put it on other felting. So in other words, I can take this and make flower petals. Okay. I can make flower petals out of this and lay it on something that I'm also felting. So if I'm felting a cape or a cloak or a coat, this will make this color will add to whatever it is I'm doing. I've got another one that I did is like it's nothing but green because I want to do leaves. So
Oh,
if I'm going to do flowers, I want to be able to put an applique of leaves down. So this is just plain, but it's got some silk blend in it, which is really nice. So when you're felting, felting is a totally different art. It's completely different, and a lot of people don't understand it. What it really is, first of all, felting is ancient. I mean, ancient. We're talking BC, probably. It's before clothing was even stitched together, before sewing was ever invented. People made cloth for themselves to wear by felting it. So what it is you're taking fleece from an animal. You're taking fleece off of a sheep. Let's see if I have some here. And you are laying it down in layers. I do have some wool here. It's actually, this is wool that's dyed. I think it's merino wool. It's dyed turquoise color. By the way, I do my own coloring too. So I will buy the wool and it's white. It's bleached white. Not even bleached. This is natural white. And so I have a color lab in my kitchen. I convert my kitchen to a color lab when I'm coloring. And I can make my colors any way I want. I love the control. I love the control. It's all about control. So because I can make this darker, I can make this lighter, I can make it variated with different colors. I can add some yellow to this. But anyway, that's the color piece. So what you will do with wool, with felting, is you take, I don't know if you guys can see this. You see how this is all like this?
yes.
Okay, so you take, just with your hand, you take just a little, like a tissue thin layer of it, like this. Okay, and you lay it down. And you keep laying it down. And if you want to change colors, you change colors and you lay it down one direction. You have to make sure your directions are straight. Keep your directions straight, all vertical. Then the next layer, after you, let's just say you're doing a square. So then the next layer, you're going to cross hatch it. You're going to lay it down horizontally. And why you do that is because the wool becomes activated when you put water on it. And when you put water on it, wool does what wool always does. It grips, it clings, it will shrink because it compresses itself. So, and so when you get that cross hatching, that's where your fabric is actually made. You can actually do a third layer and go diagonal if you really wanted to have a good lock fabric. So the amount of layers that you put down is the thickness of your felt, your final product. So let's just say you're doing a square, you're laying down all of that turquoise felting. Like I said, tissue layer thin, the same direction, then the opposite direction, then maybe diagonal. When you're done with that, you sprinkle water. You have I have a full system. I have like a spray system. I can just spray it like it's a water hose, not that big though, spray.
Yeah.
And then I roll it up and I make a Tootsie Roll out of it. Basically a lot of towels, and it's kind of a wet project, but it's not that bad. And you roll it with your hands. It's a good exercise for your upper body, by the way. And so you roll it for, I don't know, it depends, find something to do, watch a TV show, and you're just rolling and you're rolling and you're rolling. Maybe, I don't count my rolls. Some people, who do felting, they say roll it 100 times. I don't roll. I'll just say I'm going to roll it for 30 minutes. And then I'll take a break and I'll undo it and I'll roll it again, change angles on it, roll it again for another 30 minutes and check it. But anyway, it's the water and it's the agitation that makes wool react. So it's like, even though it's like off of the animal, it's actually you can reactivate it by wetting it and giving it some agitation. And the rolling is the agitation. And then next thing you know, all of those layers, those tissue thin layers that you lay down become become fabric. And it's amazing. It's like magic. It is like magic. It's like pulling a rabbit out of a hat. You lay down this stuff and then you come out, oh my God, I got something I can actually hold. And yeah, it's a piece of
So
fabric.
how long does the entire process take? Then I have a question from someone
Mm-hmm.
watching. How long does that entire felting process take for it to be complete to meet the dynamics that you have behind you? That, like, is it a day?
Oh, this. Oh, this. Oh my God. This takes, you won't believe how this is 1 hour on a Saturday.
Wow.
You can do, I mean, if you got your act together, you lay it down and you got all your stuff, you know what you want to put on it, your embellishments. That's another thing. This here, what's nice about wool, this is so cool. I'm leaving out one of the good parts about it. You see this? You see all these designs? You see this yellow streak?
Yes.
Pointing wrong. Okay,
Yes.
yeah. That's silk. That's like raw silk. That's mulberry silk or tussa silk. And you buy that. Where do I have it? Here's some. Here's like a mixture of different silks. And it's raw silk. And so what it does is silk sort of adds luster to felting, because felting the colors can be kind of dull. And so you add the silk and you got that shiny, that metallic look, and it gives it that silky feeling. Silk is just as raw as the wool is, but you can't felt with silk because silk does not cling. That's the thing. You have to know. So it has to be silk on wool, where the wool is clinging the silk down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so it's so this, but it gives you these beautiful veins, and when the wool shrinks is when you get the curly, when it gets all wiry looking. That's the wool shrinking in, and the silk has nothing left to do but just to wrinkle up and give you sort of a veiny thing. But there's another method too of felting. It's called Nuno Felting. And you work with fabric. It's a Japanese, I believe the Japanese introduced it. So you want to use natural fibers. So my natural fiber selection for Nuno Felting is silk. Okay. And you take a silk scarf, an old silk scarf that you have. I have one here that I've been meaning to felt and I haven't gotten around to it yet. Let me show you. So here's a black silk scarf. I got this thing at Macy's, I don't know, years ago. And I've not worn it. It's just, I don't know why you buy these things and you don't wear them. But it's silk, and you can see it's got the nice little edges on it.
Yeah, that's
okay.
beautiful.
Right. And it's super long and everything. It's gorgeous, right? So this, I'm going to transform this into a sheer, wonderful evening stole that I'm going to leave this hem out. Okay. I'm not going to felt that, but I'm going to felt the body, all of this. I'm going to felt all of that. And so when it felts, it's going to actually shrink, and it's going to make this hemline look ruffled.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's going to actually ruffle it, and it's going to be so pretty, and I can't wait to do it. But it's one of my many projects. Many.
So Reginald had a question for you. His question was, how does it affect your wrist? My wrist kills me when I knit.
Reggie, you're a knitter?
I just found out today.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
Their secrets.
That is so cool. So your wrist,
Reginald, that I'm just finding out.
Your wrist kills you because it's so funny, because when I saw his interview, I thought he would make a great knitter. It's so funny. Your wrist kills you when you're knitting. I can't even imagine using my wrist. I don't know how you're holding, maybe it's how you're holding the needles.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he's holding, I don't know, because everybody learns knitting differently. People cast on differently. They use their left hand and not their right hand. I mean, it's just there's so many ways of doing the same thing, and it's all like your own style. So I don't know if that could be what's causing his but okay, so now switching to knitting. What's really cool about knitting? Oh my God. Oh, what's really cool about knitting is you have two sticks, two, one and two, and a string. And from that, you can make virtually anything you want. You can make anything you want. Given the weight of the yarn, the type of yarn that you're using, you're going to get different textures. So I consider myself to be like a fiber artist, because I'm working with raw fibers, with the lamb's wool,
Mm-hmm.
with the silks and things like that, and even a colorist because I'm doing my own coloring, inventing new colors, which is really cool. Where am I going with this?
You were talking about knitting.
Right. So how did I get on felting again?
Well, Reginald said he's a lefty.
That could be, we can go over it. I'll be happy to sit with you for 10 minutes. It don't even take that long. And see how you doing what you're doing, and we can straighten that out. No, pain should not be in the way of knitting. No way. I live for knitting. Knitting's been around for a very long time. Knitting's been around for, I think, like 7,000 AD.
Oh, wow.
And it originated in Egypt. Now,
did you go to school for this, Rhonda?
No, it's just historically interesting.
Wow.
So it originated in Egypt. So where's Egypt? Africa. All right, motherland. And so, knitting has been around. Women have been knitting. As a matter of fact, you want to know who's a knitter? Sojourner Truth.
Oh, wow.
Look at her, the portrait that she's sitting. She's sitting in this portrait and she's wearing this knitted little shawl, and on her lap, she's got a little patch of knitting that she's working on. And I just think that is just like so cool. And knitting played a very big part in slavery. I don't know if people know that. There were slaves that were just delegated to knitting. They were good at it. The kids would knit, men would knit. It was just like quilting. It was the same kind of thing. It was a group community kind of thing. And, when I read something where one woman who was designated as a knitter and they wouldn't let her sleep, she would like fall asleep knitting, and they were like, you got to wake up, you got to finish knitting, because they would knit for the whole family, not their family, but
right, of course,
their slave owners' family. So knitting's been around for a very long time, and it's something that has grabbed me. When I was a kid, my mother told me how to knit, and there's some other qualities about knitting, and I don't know if Reginald has had this experience, but it's like a knitter's high. You just are just in your own flow. You're just in your own world. You just it's somehow it's soothing. It's relaxing. You're releasing, some really nice relaxing chemicals in your body. It's supposed to help with stress, and it certainly has helped me. And because I went through a whole divorce, and I knitted up a storm. I knitted up when I look back at what I knitted, like, what? When did I have time to do all this? You do have time. If you're sitting, this is my thing. If I'm sitting, I should be knitting.
Oh, okay.
Because there's no reason to just sit. To me, I feel really weird if I'm watching a movie or something and there's nothing in my hands. The only thing I can't do is watch. I cannot watch subtitles. Oh, because you can't knit and read.
Yeah. Okay. And Denise Robnett, she's also a knitter. She was in Harvard Grace, and she says it's very therapeutic. And then
Mhm.
Reginald wanted to know what type of yarn do you use?
Hmm. Good question. Okay, Reggie. Types of yarn is always a very good subject because now we're talking about fibers. Okay, so there's this thing, I don't know if you know about it, it's called Wool and Sheep Show, that is in Timonium Fairgrounds every year. Of course, they didn't have it this year because of COVID. I like to buy my yarn straight off the farmers, which is straight off the animals. And I buy it raw, like it's just natural white, and then I color it. So that's the felting. But I also buy some yarn as well. But yarn is very expensive. Yarn, you can spend like $25 a skein for one skein. If you've got a nice blend, let's say silk, linen, and wool, which is a beautiful blend because it's a combo. Well, the linen gives you the body and the stiffness, and so does the wool. But the silk will give you the luster, and the silk will give you the softness. So I always like to really, if you're going to buy some yarn, do not buy acrylic if you can really avoid it, or if it's something that is become going to be meaningless to you. I like to use natural fibers, wools, silks. And as a matter of fact, acrylic doesn't even felt. So if you were trying to put acrylic yarn, let's just say on a felt project, it won't even pick it up because acrylic is really like a plastic. And so the wool doesn't recognize it and it won't bind to plastic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I, yarns is it's touch and go. I like to buy, like I said, straight off the farms, and I would love to spin, at least try it and see if I like it. Just spin my own yarn, and they say it's easy. You go into a yarn shop, and they do have classes on it. And it's one of the things I've been meaning to do and haven't, but I will one day. And but the yarns, you can get lost in a yarn shop. You could absolutely get lost. And what's cool about a yarn shop is they always have like knitting circles. And so, strangers just pop in, they come in not to buy anything from the store, but just to come in and bring their projects. And everybody sits in a circle. I swear to God, there's something so therapeutic about it. And you're getting to know people and you're meeting people and everybody's working on their project. And it's just such a social thing. It can also be meditative if you don't have the TV on, if you don't have anything on, and you're just knitting quietly. Sometimes I do that. I wake up in the morning, and it regulates me. I don't know. It's my Prozac. I don't know. It's a good addiction. John Lewis talked about good trouble. This is a good addiction. It's nobody gets hurt. It's there's no victims. It's just a wonderful thing to do.
So how long have you been? Well, you said since you were, never mind, it'll tell you age. So where do you see House of Sky Design going in the next? I've never asked this. I don't think I've asked it. If I have, forgive me for those I've asked it of. But in the next, let's say 5 years, where do you?
Oh, it's such a good question.
Where do you see designers?
That is such a good question.
House of Sky Designs. I'm sorry.
House of Sky Design, right? So that's actually something I'm always working on. Like, what is my next? It's always the next. And so where I want to go is to just new frontiers with knitting. I want to take with knitting, I want to do color. I want to do, get away from the solids. I want to do like argyle colors. I want to do stained glass colors. I want to do plays on colors. I want to do quilting with knitting in terms of colors. So I'm just ready to just, and because I'm a colorist, I can do my own coloring. So you buy the yarn raw and you just dye it and you can just do your own thing. So I see it going very, very far. I do have an idol, a knitter idol. His name it's a white guy. He's from San Francisco. He's now living in Scotland. and his name is what is that guy's name? Facet, um, Calf, Kaffe, Facet, Fasset. If you guys want to see some awesome knitting, this guy's like my inspiration because the way he uses color. He also does needlepoint and this other needle crafts. But this guy is like, he's a genius. He has shown for Vogue. He has shown for Chanel. I mean, knitting is such a part of fashion that it goes without saying.
So
So
how do you spell his name again, Rhonda? Because I'm adding it to the feed. His first name.
his first name, let's see, is Kaffe, Kaffe, which is cat. I think it's pronounced calf.
Okay.
And it's the last name is Facet, Fasset. And you go on YouTube and you look at some of his knitting, and this guy is like everything I would want to be with his use of color. It's just eccentric use of color. There's no rhyme, there's no reason. It's not like I'm going to put red here because it's a good contrast with blue. He doesn't think about it. He just does it. And when you do that, and then you step back and you look at what you've made and you see the abstract patterns that you can make, it's just absolutely awesome. Which is the same thing with you can say about quilts. That's a whole nother subject. And that's something I actually want to start doing too, is quilting. So I want to take it to quilting. I want to do quilted coats.
Oh, wow.
Quilted coats. Because how else can you really display? You can't bring everybody in your bedroom, right? And say, look at this quilt. But if you're wearing a really a badass maxi coat with some kimono sleeves, you getting this, Reggie? It's gonna be, people are gonna be in roll up sleeves, cuff sleeves. Like, where did you get that? Where did you get that? That's the ultimate compliment.
And I'm here to tell you that for the viewers, I have seen Rhonda's collection, and it is, the felting alone is it's just mind blowing. The collection, the sleeves, the collars, it's just mind blowing. But because you're a colorist,
Mm-hmm.
do you follow Pantone to find out what the latest color schemes are going to be for the upcoming season, or do you just do you?
I don't like seeing anybody telling me what I should be doing for, it's like, did you read the memo? I grew up that way though. I grew up that way. It's like, this is the look for fall. If you don't have these earth tone colors for fall, then you're not ready for fall. What do you mean not ready? All of that is just so psychological. I believe doing you is the best way to do it. There is no rules when it comes to color. That's the thing. Never be afraid of color. I should probably also say that I'm a daughter of an artist.
Oh, okay.
And that's probably where I got a lot of my imagination, a lot of my, I don't know, just unleashing of imagination and style. Like I said, my mother taught me how to knit, but my mother was an abstract watercolor painter. And
Wow.
so she was always looking at color and encouraging us to look at things that we normally wouldn't look at. Like, who looks at a tree? Well, my mother did, and she would go, look at the tree and look at how the branches form. And isn't that beautiful how the sky is doing this? And so she was always sort of bringing us into that creative realm and getting us to see things that other people wouldn't necessarily see or imagine something. And so everyone in my family, we all have this quality or skill because my mother, opened our eyes and got us to see the possibilities. And so we all sort of have that. But I think everybody has that. I think everybody has it. It's just finding what it is that works for you,
Mhm.
that turns you on, that you can't put down. Like knitting is so much a part of me. I can't even imagine life without knitting. I can't. To me, my worst thing that could happen to me would be to have, and I don't want to say it, but something happen in my hands or, my joints or something like that where I can't knit anymore. It's just, it's like I said, it's my Prozac. It regulates me. If I'm stressed out, I'll just sit and knit. If it's raining, if it's a rainy day, oh great, it's raining and it's cold, it's a snow day. That means I can sit, I have full license to sit and knit. And that is a well spent day because it's just so fabulous. But felting, I just started felting like 3 years ago. That's how quick felting you can pick up on felting. And felting is just this whole nother realm. And I want to do so where I want to take House of Sky with felting is do more felted coats. I want to do felted capes. I want to do outerwear. I want to do fashionable outerwear. A lot of people, thinking about the dress, but what are you wearing to the place?
Yeah.
That's going to really set off the dress
To me,
that
the
you're
coat
wearing.
is the statement. The outerwear is your statement.
Exactly. Exactly. And so I want to have these, statement coats. I want to have where it's got all kind of embellishments and you can just see it from like a block away and somebody's going to run up to you and tap you on your shoulder and go, "Where did you get that?" That's the look I'm going for. I'm going for that jaw dropping. And also what's cool about felting is that you can write on it. You can
Oh,
write messages. So I want to do like I want to do like a series of like, because of all the protesters that have been out
mhm,
and, you've seen all these signs and,
mhm,
whatever your message is.
mhm,
So I want to do some messaging where you can be you can protest without protesting,
mhm.
and you're just wearing this cool streetwear, and you're constantly where people can read your back, they can read your front, wherever the message is, and it's just like the coolest thing. So that's sort of like where I want to take this. I want to take it to a whole nother level. I am like completely, the gloves are off, and I haven't even given my first show yet, but you know,
It's coming. It's coming.
yeah, but it's like I'm excited thinking about where House of Sky is going to go. If you haven't picked that up, I am just
I couldn't
completely
really I
beside
couldn't
myself.
tell that. I couldn't tell that you were really passionate about what you do and that you absolutely love that. I don't think anybody following this or looking at this feed right now can tell how excited and how passionate you are about knitting. I don't think they could tell.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, I probably am a little subdued about it. Yeah, that's true. That's true. A little subdued, but it's something about the fibers. It's touching and feeling the fibers. And what's cool about knitting and what's cool about felting is that you make your own cloth.
Mhm.
You make your own cloth. It's like I said, it's two sticks and a string. And with felting, it's this little tissue thin fibers that you're laying down collectively to make your own cloth. And so when you can make your own cloth, you can control the thickness, the depth, depending on what it is you're making. Again, it's the control piece. But I do. I mean, I love sewing. Don't get me wrong. I love sewing. I've got so many sew projects now that I haven't even started. I've got, bags. I got the fabric, I got all the notions, I got the pattern or the croquis sketch of what I
Mhm.
want to do. And it's all just waiting. It's all just boom, 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 boom. Because I don't want to lose the idea. I'll get an idea. I'll think about something. Well, first of all, the brain never shuts off. It's like this.
Yeah.
And you're constantly thinking of different ideas. There's no time that I can think of where I've had no thoughts of any new idea. I can look at a sewn clothing and get a knitting idea
Right.
from looking at sewn clothing. Ideas are endless. You know,
Yeah.
it's not like not coming up with an idea is a problem. Having too many,
Right.
and you know, keeping the traffic in your head. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
I go through
easy.
that too. But
It's easy.
mine is with the business, and it's just
Oh
it's
yeah,
like we're
exactly.
sitting and
Tell me
talking now.
straight.
Before the ideas won't sit down. I need them to have several seats until I finish this interview, and then I'll write everything down. I have post-it notes all over the place. But being a colorist, how how hard was that to dabble into or to begin to enter into the journey of being a colorist? And then you often talk about how you feel the felt, and I'm sorry, how you feel the wool to turn it into felt. With the color, there's nothing. Is there anything to feel, or is it just a eye thing?
Oh yeah. Okay, so it's an eye thing with the color. You're actually mixing. I've got like a mason jar kind of thing, and so you're taking a color and you're making a stock color. Okay, so let's just say a blue. That's a primary color, blue. And you make a stock color of blue, which is concentrated. And then so that you want to take some blue out of your stock color, and then let's just say you want to add some green with it. So you want to have more of a jade color. So already your blue is lighter because you've taken a percentage out from your stock. And then you're going to add some green. And so from there, you're looking at the color through the jar, and you're looking at how deep you want it. And then you can actually take a piece of the wool and dip it in and let it dry. And that'll tell you if your color needs to be lighter or darker, depending on what it is you're looking to do with your color. So it's hit or miss. I mean, coloring, are you kidding? Remember kindergarten?
Yeah.
Remember Crayola crayons where you get all of these colors? That's what it's like.
Oh,
It's fun. It's wonderful. You know, it's just absolutely wonderful. I haven't colored in a while because I like to color and do up my colors and then sit it away for a while. But I need to probably pick it up and color some more fibers, especially with all these color ideas I have coming.
so this is Rhonda Dyson. She is a felter and knitter and all things
Sewer.
sewer and colorist and universe lover and all that kind of stuff. So if you have any questions, you can write them in the comments for us, and I'll present them to Rhonda, and then Rhonda will respond. This has been very eye-opening for me. Denise Robinette, oh, she sent the color. I mean, she sent the question. Hold on. Oh, okay, hold on. So Denise says, um,
Where do I see myself 5 years now with knit fashion? Okay, that's what I was talking about, Denise, where I want to do like Afghan colors. I want to do like stained glass. I want to do rich, vibrant colors. We're talking fuchsias and purples and lavenders and pinks and blues and yellows and greens. And I'm just going to just find myself in color. And because you can buy the yarn that has the variated colors, which is pretty much what I've been doing, and you'll see that when you look at my Etsy store. And that's okay. I like the stripes at the variated colors that the yarn makes, but now I want to have like color blocking, and I want to just really do some really cool stuff, because all I got to do is picture it coming down the runway, and my imagination just goes completely wild when I can just, I want jaw dropping looks, and there's no reason why I can't get it, because I'm doing everything. I'm doing the sewing, I'm doing the knitting, and I'm doing the felting. I'm also, Denise, I'm also going to combine more knitting with cloth, with fabric. So in the show that's coming up, I've done that already, and you'll see it when you look at my collection, where I've combined knitting with cloth. And because I just think those two are great. You can play, I mean, it's basically what we wear every day. We wear cloth bottoms and a knit top, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's always sort of like part of our wardrobe.
So here's a question I want to ask you before we end the interview. If you had the ultimate wish, and if someone can grant that wish for you, and it was for knitwear, what would it be and why?
What do you mean in terms of a look of knitwear? What do you
A
mean?
look, whatever that ultimate wish is for you that you've always wanted to do, and now someone has afforded you that opportunity. What would it be and why? It could be as far fetched. This is all about you. It could be as far fetched as the universe will allow you to be.
um, Geez.
You
I
want
don't.
you?
Okay, so this is what I would like to do. Have you heard of and I'm sure Denise has. Have you heard of yarn bombing?
Oh, girl, no.
You haven't heard of yarn bombing? Okay, so yarn bombing is where and it's usually like in some of these really trendy hippie places like California or Oregon, and these hippie kind of people, free spirited people, and they will yarn bomb. So what do you do when you yarn bomb? You will take, let's just say, a statue that's always been in the town square, and people will wake up one day and the dude's got on knit shorts. I'm not kidding. Or he's got a knit cap on. Or they will take yarn bombing can also be, you'll take like a cyclone fence and you'll put knit designs along the fence like graffiti, and it's all knitted. Okay. So what I would like to do is to have my background knit graffiti, yarn bombed knit graffiti, which would be like, oh my God. Just think about that already. And then insert a model who is wearing knit head to toe and blends right in with the background.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
Totally like camouflage. Just blends right in with the background and take the shot, because that's a magazine cover, you know. But that would just be like knit explosion. But yarn bombing is being done like all over, all over the world. People are yarn bombing. I mean, it's funny, it's cute. It doesn't last long because the yarn eventually falls off or whatever. But the whole thing is just to make fun, like at the Art Institute of Chicago, because everybody has to wear masks. Someone made masks for the two lions that sit outside on both of the thrones of the museum. And so the lions had these masks on, but wouldn't it be cute if they were knitted? Or how about the Supreme Court, where you've got the justice, the Greek symbol? They could be yarn bombed. But it's a trendy thing. Yeah, it's cute. Oh, I do have something before we close. I do want to, I guess it's sort of like a chip on my shoulder or a bone to pick, or I don't even know what you want to call it.
Is it with me? Oh God.
No. With knitting
Continue.
with knitting and the fashion industry.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So
Good.
as a knitter, like I said, you can buy yarn that's very expensive, $25 a skein. And for the average project, you're talking about 8 skeins. So already you're at $200. Okay. And you haven't even made it. So knitting is inherently, depending on the type of yarn you use, if you go to Joann's and she has mostly acrylic, you have to look high and low to find wool. which is like cheap yarn. Okay, which is okay. Like I said, depends on what you want to do. If you're making, it depends on what you want to do. So I'm just saying. So comparing store prices, retail prices for, let's just say, a red turtleneck sweater versus a turtleneck sweater that you can make, is no comparison. The stores have us beat because they can sell that turtleneck sweater for $24 at Macy's. Okay. Where me, I'm still working on it. It's going to be better than that. It's going to last longer than that. And it's going to hold up better than that. But I'm still making it and I'm $200 in. So it's really, no comparison for people who love knitting. I mean, truly love hand knitting. It requires you to love it enough to want to spend the extra money.
Right.
Because it really does show when you're wearing. I can spot a hand knitted garment from across the room. And I can spot a store-bought from across the room too. So it's all about the quality that you're looking for. And as the artist, as the designer, I know I really can't charge all that it took me to make it. So what's in it for me? The enjoyment of making it. To me, it's the process and not the end point. So it's not like, oh, I'm going to get rich making this. No, you're not. You're not. You're actually going to be in the hole making it. But
if you start out in the hole, but with proper marketing, you will get out of the hole and you can charge or will charge a price that it should be.
Yeah,
I don't agree that people should limit their. I don't agree that people should limit their. Reginald's texted me because we just talked about this last night, and I don't agree that people should minimize their price points because of the fear that whomever can't afford it. It is what it is. And so on the other side of the fence, which is the client base, they either can afford it or they can't. If you want a Tesla, you're going to get a Tesla. If you can only afford a Hyundai, that's what you're going to get. But if you can afford a Hyundai, but you really want a Tesla, you'll do what you need to do to get that Tesla. And the same thing, I believe, goes with fashion. I'm sorry.
That's true. That's true.
A lot of people might not agree with me, but that's my take on it. And that's how I feel. True.
But here's the thing too. I also fall in love with store-bought knits. I'm just as vulnerable as the next. But what I'll do is I'll get the idea. I'll walk in any high-end store, Barney's, and I'll just go and look at what they've got. And I'm so overstimulated that I just can't wait to get my hands on knit. Another good thing about knitting is it travels with you. It goes with you. It's not like you got to bring your sewing machine on the plane. You can still knit. It is portable. I've had knitting on the beach, on the plane, you name it. I've been in a deposition knitting, so so that's another good thing about it. But it depends on what you want for your knit, if you want that quality. And I will say this about machine knitting. I, love machine knitting. That's a whole different dimension. Because hand knitting, you get more of the texture and more of the bubbly, because it's all by hand. When you're knitting on a machine, and I've not used the machine, they're expensive to buy, it's an industrial machine, you get this beautiful flat braid, beautiful flat stockinette look. And that's where you get your Italian knits, that beautiful flatness. And I love the machine knit. So I can't poo-poo anybody. It's all about what you want to do. If you want to buy a store knit, go ahead and buy it, because some of them are bad. If you want to do a machine knit, that'll give you a whole different quality of this, more of a sophisticated, rich, sort of like a St. John kind of a look to your knit. And if you're doing hand knitting, then that's just your basic knobbiness that I actually love. I think it's very, very organic. And so if you want that kind of a finish. So if you're thinking about knitting, there's so many ways to approach knitting. There's so many things.
So Rhonda, this has been. I'm just. I don't know what to say. This has been really, really awesome.
Did you
Like,
learn something?
oh my God,
You
yes.
did? Okay, that's cool.
And
That's the whole idea.
usually when I learn something new, I want to try it, but I don't want to try this. I'm gonna
Now,
leave all.
have you ever tried knitting?
One time, and I couldn't.
Crochet, knitting.
I couldn't do it. Well, knitting, I couldn't get the. I was like, never mind. I gave up. I
Stay
just
with
couldn't
it.
do it work for me. I don't know
Oh,
why.
girl. It is so, I can't even say enough about the therapeutic effects that come from it. And then when you get in a circle, it could be strangers, it could be people you know. Like when I was working, I'm retired now, but when I was working at CMS, we'd all just we'd find who the knitters were, and we'd all find an empty conference room, and we'd all just spend our lunch hour. And it was the best lunch hour because you're stimulated. You talk to people, you've interacted, you had genuine conversations, and everybody's like working on their project and you're supporting each other. It's just, I don't know what to say about it. It's very folk, very like folk art, you know. And so when does knitting become a craft, and when does it cross the line to become fashion? That is all depending on the designer, the person who's doing it. If you want to stay stuck doing coasters and sleeves for our drinking glasses and things like that, then that's a craft.
Oh, okay.
If you want to get serious with it and go, no, I want to make something. I want to make something that's wearable, that's fashionable. Now you've just crossed the line and you've left the craft part of knitting, and now you're into the serious knitting. And a lot of men knit. There's a lot of, just so much. I can't. Oh my gosh.
Well, we have a question. I don't want to miss it.
Like
so
the
you
portraits in Laguna Beach.
I didn't know you could see that. So you were talking about not photo bombing, yarn bombing.
Yarn bombing.
So then that's when
I've never seen that, Denise. Laguna Beach Festival. Really? I'll look on YouTube for that. But yeah, yarn bombing is like it's so cool, and women just do it because it's a blast, you know. And if you go on YouTube, you'll see some yarn bombs, and you'll see, oh yeah, it's just something that just puts a smile on your face. When you look at the same statue or whatever, it's just you can do a light pole, you can do a garbage can, you know, a mailbox, you know, you just yarn bomb it, and it's just the cutest thing. It just livens up the community.
Yeah, I want a yarn bomb.
You do.
I just want to hang out with y'all. I don't want to do that. I just want to hang out with y'all. It seems like you would have a lot of fun. So when you're in a circle, do you all talk yarn language? Like if I was to say you were at a circle and I just went, oh, look, there's Rhonda and her friends. And so then I just invite myself to the circle.
Yes.
Do I understand what you all are talking about?
Yeah, we're not talking about knitting per se or crochet per se. We're talking about, you name it.
Oh, okay.
World events. We're talking about anything under the sun. We're talking about people who's having a problem with their family or whatever, because what happens when you're knitting is you're relaxed. Okay, so when you're relaxed, conversation flows.
Right.
And you may say something that you didn't think you were going to say, like, I'm really pissed off with X, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then we'll go like, oh, really? What happened? So the next thing you know, so it is kind of gossipy, but not necessarily. But then, you know, and then we'll problem solve. You know, somebody's having problems with their basement is flooding all the time or whatever. Oh, did you try the so-and-so? And we're all just like, it's just, you talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. You can talk about men, you can talk about the president, you can talk about the weather. And it's not so much the project, because I can see, somebody's working on their projects and you can just see it all progress. And what it is I don't know what it is. It's like you see each other growing in your own project, and you give each other kudos. And when you're finally done, you lay it all out and you show everybody. It's like this big show and tell. And it's just wonderful. And that's really why I want to get into quilting, because I don't know if you've heard of G's Bend quilt. Have you heard of G's Bend?
No, I've never heard of them.
Okay, so it's a small town in Alabama, and they're known ancestrally from their quilts that they made as slaves. And these women have made these beautiful works of art, and it's color blocked, because that's how you make a quilt. It's all color blocking, and it's just beautiful. And they're heirloom. They're passed down from generation after generation. And it's a small town, and so their work is in museums now.
Wow.
And they're selling for like crazy money if they're for sale. But G's Bend, Gees, that's something you want to put down on if you're looking for other tags. G's Bend is what you want to look at under YouTube. You'll see these beautiful quilts these women made. They were slaves. And because we didn't have fabric didn't come to slaves quickly. So we would steal a swatch or something from the big house, a little piece of this and a little piece of that, and some dungarees and whatever. And so they prized whatever little piece of fabric that they came across, and they saved it. And then they all got together and they made these beautiful quilts. And because, how were they clothing slaves? They were clothing slaves with like potato sacks. You'd make pants out of potato sacks and shirts out of potato sacks. But what were we growing? We were growing what? Cotton. And what's cotton? It's a natural fiber. So from that, you can spin it and make yarn. And when you make yarn, you can make garments. And so that's how that whole thing is, like from sheep to wear. You can go. And the show that I was telling you about, the Wool and Sheep show, that I think it's in Timonium, I'm not sure where, but it's every year. They have contests where they're actually shearing the sheep right there in front of you. There's livestock everywhere, and they're shearing the sheep, and then who can do it the fastest. And they're putting it in the loom, and they're weaving it, and they're making yarn, and then somebody's knitting it at the same time, and boom, 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 you're the winner, because you have now the finished garment. You can literally see it go from sheep to now a garment.
Oh, wow.
So what do I want for Christmas? I want my own personal sheep.
Oh my God.
I want my sheep. I want at least 2 sheep. I want to keep it in my backyard. Of course, I can't do that, because that's just a gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
You got wool like crazy, and they love it when they get shaved because they can breathe. They need you to take this wool off of their backs, because they can finally breathe, and then they're just going to grow it again. So you have this unlimited supply of wool coming in, especially if it's Angora or something. I'm probably over my time. Am I over my time?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
This is our time.
Okay. All right.
Wow, sheep. I've never.
I want a pet sheep. If you had a pet sheep,
I do have a pet sheep. Hold on. His name is Lambie.
Oh,
Lambie.
He is cute. Where'd you get him?
I bought him for I think I bought them when my youngest son was
He
born.
is so cute. That's a
And my
good
son
little gift.
touched him and he had dirty hands, and then I didn't want him to touch it anymore, so I kept it for myself.
Okay.
This is Lambie, and you
Yeah.
can have him.
Lambie. Oh yeah. No, I mean he would be a cute addition, but I do have something to show off. I have my Chanel
Okay.
dress. I have my Chanel dress for him. Do you
Well,
see it?
oh, that's it?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a tabletop, and of course I don't use it for anything other than to just sort of look at it. And I got it on eBay or something. I can't remember where I bought it, but I love my little Chanel um, body. So,
okay.
any
So
other questions from
I
anybody?
put at the bottom where the viewers and those that catch the replay can find you on Etsy.
Mhm.
Do you have anything else you'd like to share, or anybody watching? Do you have any questions for Rhonda? This is the time. Speak now, forever hold your peace. Because we'll be ending this soon. But Rhonda, this has been so awesome. And
Good. I'm glad.
arrive late, please, 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 I encourage you to watch the replay of this. It is so awesome. It's such a learning experience. You will take a walk back into history, and then Rhonda will take you into the future. And it's really empowering and very, very well shared.
Thank
I
you.
enjoyed it.
Thank you. Thank
Well,
you. I enjoy talking about it. As you can see, you can't shut me up,
I
really.
couldn't tell Rhonda. I could not tell. so, so I'm Sharon Nixon. Who am I? Y'all know me, Sharon Nixon. And this is Rhonda Dyson. She will also be presenting, doing, fingers crossed, the pre-show before Baltimore Fashion Week next year. And then she's also showcasing next year. And then you'll see her. She doesn't know this because this is the first time I'm telling her. But then you'll see her in September when we go live doing event that I was just invited to, and I'm taking the designers with me.
Ah,
First,
is it
so
out of the country? Is it like petty?
it could
No.
we could be that far, but we'll be
We
here at our homes.
we can always do like a field trip
That'll be cool
to Milan
when
or
it's.
Paris
I don't
and
want to.
visit well when all this is over.
Yes, yes.
And just sort of do an international cultural exchange
Ooh, that'll be
kind of
cute.
thing. Wouldn't it be great? We all have to, of course, pay our way, but it would be wonderful to
I like
have that
that.
exposure.
I like that. Maybe we'll look for that for 2022.
That would be fabulous. I'm
That'll
in.
be awesome.
I'm in.
But only the individuals or designers that showcased in Baltimore Fashion Week can go.
Well, that's your rule, but
Yeah,
I'm like whatever.
yeah, I
Let's
know.
let's
My
all
rule is
let's
that.
all just like ring their doorbells and go hi East Saint Laurent. Sure, and they give us a tour. I'm sure they do stuff like that.
Well, I'm pretty sure, that's why I said 2022. So I'll put that in the works, and I'll let
Yeah,
everyone,
it'd be great. Awesome.
when
Well,
I get
I've
everything.
enjoyed the interview.
Huh?
I have enjoyed this interview. I enjoyed
Oh,
talking about
good.
my craft. I really do. I don't know. I'm so okay. So I've had all these other careers. Like I was an RN and an attorney at law, and still all those things. But this is the first time that I have ever felt completely at home. Like this is where I belong. That I can't even describe the feeling. It's like, first of all, it's found me because when I started knitting and then I started designing my styles, then I'm designing, right? I'm now designing sweaters.
Right,
So
right.
it's like this, so I never like set out to say I want to be a fashion designer. No, that never crossed my mind. What, fashion? Me? I mean, yeah, I just never, but people would always say I dress smart, and they're always waiting to see what I was going to wear the next day and that kind of thing. But fashion really found me. And I'm so glad that it did. And now that faucet has turned on, I swear I can't shut it
Don't shut
off.
up. Don't ever,
I
ever.
cannot. It's
Nope.
like it's just constantly. I will be washing dishes, mowing the lawn, thinking about how something's gonna work. Thinking about the mechanics of how I'm gonna get that to hold and this and that, do that, and just an idea. I get my inspiration. Some people they get the inspiration from drawing. Like I can't do that. I can do it, but it's up here. It
Yeah.
stays up here. So if I look at fabric, okay, if I go to a fabric store, overstimulation, if it's a great store, like Mood, and I get completely overstimulated, but I will get the idea just by looking at the fabric in terms of that would look great as that would
Mm-hmm.
be great if that was
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
then I'll get that idea and then it starts churning. It happens that way, or it just happens just out of pure thin air. And I'll
Wow.
have the idea. And I can't wait. This is the beautiful thing about designing. I was telling all the models this too, is that the beautiful thing about designing is that you take something that is an idea, that is a pure idea that only exists in your head. And so the challenge then for me, because it is a self challenge, is to make it look like how it looks in your head.
Right.
Manifest that thing, make that come to life. And so when you see it come to life, it just is mind blowing. It's like you performed magic. And then when you see someone wearing it, I cannot tell you some of the stuff that when we were having the fittings and the models were coming for their fittings, it was the first time I saw a human being wearing some of these garments. And I was like in Disneyland going, oh my God. Because it was like the complete picture. Everything was completed.
Oh, Rhonda.
Everything was completed. I can't, and I bet you all the other designers feel the same way. It's amazing. It's like pulling a rabbit out of a hat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I bet so the challenge is I bet you I can make what I'm thinking about. You know what I mean? And because you can think the sky's the limit.
Right.
Your imagination.
Right.
And so the challenge is I bet you I can make. If you can, especially if you imagine it coming down a runway, you go, I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna make it. It's gonna be flowing. It's gonna it's gonna be bad. You know what I mean? So that's it. That's the challenge. Once it's done, it's kind of like done. The fun is making it. It's
Oh.
a journey. Yeah.
Mm. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for watching the Rhonda show, where she was the interview interviewee and the host. Yeah, that was.
I'm an interviewee too. Yeah. I I ask myself my own questions, right? Okay.
She has been awesome, but thank Rhonda.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, and I apologize for the technical difficulties in the beginning. But
I'm glad I got through.
and it was fabulous, and I loved it, and I'm excited. I'm
Me
excited.
too.
So you all will be getting an email really soon, as soon as I can debrief from this interview, because this is just now I want to knit, and I don't have the mental space or capacity to do any of that. So
You'll find the time.
I'll add it to my bucket list, just like watercolor is on my bucket list.
I can sit down with you. A watercolor's on your bucket list. Watercolor is
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah. I can sit with you for 10 minutes and you'll be off to the races.
No.
Yeah, you will. Oh, it's another thing. I don't follow patterns either when I knit. Some people, I can't even read a knit pattern. I knit straight out of my head.
Knitting.
Huh?
I didn't know there was a pattern for knitting.
Yeah, they have patterns. They're patterns to knit, but I get confused. I wind up just knitting shapes. If you understand shapes and you can add and decrease, which is pretty basic, you can knit shapes. And so when you knit shapes, then you basically are making a shape that this side will fit that side. And so that's how I knit. I'm a very unconventional knitter. I've yet to follow a pattern.
And I
So,
don't think you're not a inside of the box person. You're very outside the box. So lines don't matter to you.
no, I hate
Lines are
rules.
containment.
I hate rules. Yeah.
Wait till she gets the runway bug.
Ah,
Oh,
who
Denise
said
said,
that?
wait till you get the runway bug. She loves it. I think Denise did her first show 2 years ago. And my
Mm.
goodness, as soon as she knows, she was like, she's the first one to call me. I want to know if I can do the show. I'm like, sure, Denise.
Really? It's a turn on. I can imagine. I can
It's pretty,
imagine.
it's
I
pretty
can't
dope.
wait.
I say so myself.
I can't wait.
Although I've never seen the show, but to sit down front row and watch it, but it's pretty dope. But we're gonna end tonight. Right now, we're gonna end. And Rhonda's information. Rhonda, tell me your. Hold on for a minute. Let me do something real quick. Tell me your email address. Oh no, I know it. Is it at
Well,
yahoo.com?
it's Rhonda Dyson. Yeah, one word at yahoo.com. Mm-hmm. And my store on Etsy. I don't know if you
Yeah, I added
posted
that
that.
already.
You did. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's save this little puppy and then populate Lambie's cousin.
Lambie.
There we go. So
I
at the
want a Lambie. I'm gonna get one.
yeah, I know you will. You'll
I'm
be
gonna get my
calling
pet
me.
lamb.
It's in my yard, like, oh my God, Rhonda, do you need a permit for that? Please tell
Oh,
me.
I do. Oh, I want a lamb so bad. Oh my God.
Well, maybe the powers that be will get you a lamb. I
There's
don't
lot.
know.
Well,
You know.
the silver lining is that there's lots of sheep farmers in Maryland.
Hmm.
Lots of them.
They,
And
nice.
so there you go.
They
Yeah.
might gift you a sheep.
No, I'll be buying their fleece. I'll be buying their fleece. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so my name is Sharon. Rhonda said the interview's over. My name is Sharon Nixon. I'm the founder and lead producer for Baltimore Fashion Week. And is this my left? I guess this would be my left. However, you're looking at the screen, the other young lady you see is Rhonda Dyson, a fabulous knitter and felter. And please, please, please reach out to her if you have any questions. You can email her at Rhonda Dyson at yahoo.com. She's also on Etsy at House of Sky Design. So just go to Etsy and type in House of Sky Design and she'll pop up. And you'll love, love, love her. If you love what's on Etsy, wait till you see what she puts in the show. I'm so excited. So this is the end of our interview. And you all stay safe. And I will see you all again on Sunday. I launch my pilot show, which is A Moment with Sharon. And I'm doing a pilot on YouTube. So that will launch on Sunday. And then I think my next interview is with Vanessa. I believe I interviewed her on Sunday. If my memory, hold on, let me see if I'm right. Yes, I interviewed her Sunday at 7. So you all be safe. Please, 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 please make sure you sanitize, wash your hands for 20 seconds, and I will see you on Sunday.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye.